Hello everybody, welcome back to Emma Bobbins. I am Emma and today's another floss tube. I can't believe it's been roughly about 4 weeks since I last filmed a floss tube. As you guys know, I don't really tend to have a lot of projects, so I have no starts, no finishes, and 2 whips. I'm going to show you what I've been working on the past month and then just talk about a little bit of haul, a little bit, not much. Some shout outs and where I'm gonna see this channel going in the next little while, because I don't know, I feel like I've fallen out of love with FLOSSTUBE. But anyway, we'll get to that later. Let's start with the first whip. It's a little bit concerning because Dragon Dance of Like Depths, I am missing the needle and I don't know where it is. So little tiny bit concerning. I can't remember actually how much progress I have had on this. Let me just grab my iPad. It definitely has had some love this past month. I don't think it's been like significantly a lot. Yeah, it's probably had like 1,000-ish stitches since last time. I think last time I showed you I had, been working like the outlines and stuff like that down here, so I've just kind of continued with colouring and basically making more outlines as I go. So I've hit a bottom border here, which is great. She's looking really good. I'll take her out of the frame so that you can see her in all her glory, because this is one pattern that I absolutely adore. And the only reason it hasn't had like a whole bunch of love is because I've been working on Gaia, which I'll show you next. Let me just get all my stuff off, take the needle minder off, take all the clips off. There's so much to this project. These frames, oh my god, man. Trying to get these frames off is how I imagine labourers and having to squeeze. Oh my god, it's massive. I haven't even, like, it goes all the way like up as well, so this is gonna be huge. I just love the colours. I know I said it last time. All the colours are gorgeous. So this is stitched on 14 count Zweigart, navy blue Ada, and all the called for DMC. This is gonna look so good. I've actually been kind of hunting around for framer options. Spoken to a couple of people just to give me their recommendations that are local, so very helpful. Thank you everyone that's responded to me. It's been really helpful just to kind of plan it in my mind, because the dragon is definitely getting framed and Gaia will most certainly be getting framed as well. Very exciting. I'll show you the back. I'll show you the back. The back's an absolute mess. I'm quite chaotic and there's a lot of back stitching in this, so I'm not really caring too much, to be honest. This is just I like the front. The front's pretty enough. As long as the front's pretty, then it doesn't really matter. That's Dragon Dance of Like Depths. That's by Nadija Gavrilenkova. Pleasure to work on. Absolute pleasure. I'm trying to make this video a little bit snappier than my normal floss tubes because I have a tendency to just rattle on, and yeah, it takes me okay, all my needle minders and clips just all magnetized together, if you heard that. It just takes me so long to edit any video really that I come across. I'll show you Gaia just how she is just now before I take her out of the frame. Gaia's had a lot of love, a lot of love. There is Gaia. So obviously I've moved the frame. I don't know what she looks like in total. I haven't seen her whole form at this point in time. We're gonna find this out together. I'll take her out, show you her in full, and then we'll talk a little bit about her. Oh my god, this frame. Yeah. Okay, I'm not gonna look at her. I'm not gonna look at her. I'm not gonna look at her. Find this out together. Let me just unroll, but I'm not looking. 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 I'm just unrolling the fabric. I can only see her from the back. I'm not looking. I'm not looking. We're all gonna find this out together. This is Gaia. Oh, there's so much. I've done so much. Oh my goodness. She looks so good. Let me just appreciate it. Hold on. Wow, she's massive. Wow. Okay. Oh, she's so big. I knew she was gonna be big, but wow. I don't know about you guys, but see, when you make anything, I don't know, it's really weird. I know I'm quite artistic, but whenever I make anything, I feel sometimes so astounded by the results of something that I can do when I put my mind to it. This is one of those instances, so I'll show you closer up. Oh my god, it's so creased because it's been in the frame. I started in the center here on her dress, so I finished as much as I could within like where I had the frame to start with, and I put a poll on Instagram because I couldn't decide whether I go up, down, left or right. It was like 50-50 guys. You guys were like 50-50 up, 50-50 down, and I'm like, that doesn't freaking help. I asked Troy and he's like, just go up. I was like, okay, because you get to see her face. Then started at the bottom here, went all the way up, started some of the back stitching on her hand. This is really hard to hold up. And then I was doing all her face and her hair. I started seeing her hair coming to life, and then I got to her face and I was like, right, I just need to go for this. Like, I think I'd done it in a day. And I'm just starting to work the branches up here now. And she's got a little bird friend. I've done obviously the back stitching here. Let me just actually zoom in the camera. That might be, oh my god, that's so much easier. My arm's really sore. So there we go. There's her back stitched eye and eyebrow and her mouth. Looks so good. I've messed up her face so bad. I think I missed a line of stitches, so she's got an extra row of hair somewhere. But I was like, you know what, I don't care. So yeah, the bird has all been back stitched as much as I can. There's a little French knot to go on its eye, but I've not decided whether I actually want to do the French knot or not. I might just bead it at the end. The v-neck and her dress has all been back stitched, and then before I moved the frame I had back stitched her hand and then just some of the hanging bits from the branches as much as I could. I don't know whether to outline these little petals. Maybe I might see how it looks at the end if I feel like it needs a little bit more definition, but otherwise, you know, she's looking great. That's Gaia. Oh my god, my arm. Do you know what I need? I need like an easel to just like sit here and I can just like pin it on. Gaia is stitched on 14 count lavender Zyga Ada. I'm so glad that I chose a 14 count for working on Ada because there is a lot of fractional stitches in here, especially the bird's tail and her hair and her mouth and face. There's just a lot of fractionals in it. So I think if I had chosen like a 18 count fabric, I would have really struggled to make those fractionals in a smaller space. I actually had someone comment on, I think it was my last floss tube, that they hadn't really seen anybody stitch a Bella Filipina on Ada, and I obviously haven't worked on any linen or even weave or anything like that, so I can't really comment, but I think as long as you're quite comfortable in your stitching and making fractionals, maybe you just, before you go into the Bella Filipina, just practice on a little scrap piece that you have, like can you make the fractional stitches easy? Again, I don't know if it's because I've chosen the Zweigart fabric or because of, I don't know, I'm okay with it. My fractional stitches are by no manner of means perfect. Once the back stitching is in, you can hardly tell that some of them are fractionals, that I've maybe like blubbed them a little bit. You can't really tell unless you're like, yeah, literally what I'm doing. It's just been such a pleasure to work on, honestly, and I don't know if you can get a sense of scale. Like, she's just huge. And I know Bella Filipinas are. I don't know, just because I've been only working in my little 11 by 11 frame, I just didn't know what she looked like, and I'm so proud of her. There is this really chunky Krennic. You might be able to see it. Where is it? See these little orange, like quite spaced bits? Number 8 150V. Very thick compared to number 4. I had made a boo-boo with my counting and I realised it wasn't really that many stitches, so like if I'm not that far into it and I know I've made just a mistake with the thread like that I've just been working on, I will frog it. And what I noticed when I was frogging it out, it's actually stained some of the places that I had it. Yeah, so that little bit is actually kind of stained, like in between those squares where I miscounted, and also a little bit on the surrounding like kind of whitish threads, which is kind of disappointing, but you know what, they're going to be covered up by the beads anyway, so like it's fine. Just though, so you know, because I've never come across that in a Krennic before. I'll just show you her one more time before we go and move on to other things. Gaia is 35% complete, which is wild because there's still so much of her to do, but it doesn't feel like there should be, but there is. Yeah, there's a lot of her dress still to do, all the way down here. Yeah, there's another bird, obviously her hand, I've not quite finished over here. And then there's a lot of branches over the side. I've been working on her for about 57 hours and 4,715. I done last month. I am using all the called for Karen Water Lilies, DMC, Chronic, and when I get to it will be all the called for beads as well. I've just got stuff everywhere. I went to Sally's. I don't know if every country has it, but it's like a beauty shop and they do like wholesale deals on like beauty stuff. So I've got like heaps of like eyelash and eyebrow tints, the developer for it, and then what I actually went for was shampoo. Oh, and I got a new hairbrush because mine I dropped in the bathroom and it actually just like fell apart, and I've been using it, fell apart. It's a tangle teaser, so it's like the front has come off the back and I'm like, yeah, I can't. It's really difficult to use. A little bit of haul next. One thing I did mention last month, but I will get to that in a minute. I actually was looking for a folio for all my patterns, so I got this really cute one from B&M. It's got just like suns and moons on it. It is kind of like chock-a-block and a little bit hard to close, but I think I just need to like add another hair tie onto the elastic thing to make it a little bit easier to close. Yeah, that's later Emma's problem. And then my last thing came from 123stitch.com, so the Chatelaine Hawaii Garden Mandala pattern. I really want to start this. What is it? Chatelaine? Chatelaine? Chatelaine. 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 Watch me just like say whatever I want in every video and I'll say it all differently. So there's a pattern there. This is obviously paper version because they had a sale and I think I got it for like 25 bucks, which is pretty good. Look at all the different colours. Like the top one's DMC, the next one is needlepoint ink silks, and then we've got thread gatherer silks and dinky dye silks and Karen Water Lilies and Gloriana silks and rainbow gallery petite treasure braids and delicate beads and Swarovskis. There's just a lot, and this is going to be so expensive to pull together. I think I'm going to take a little bit of a break from huge patterns. After I finish Gaia, I'm going to work on some slightly smaller designs or patterns that I've already had in the back before I start on the Chatelaine. My problem is DMC is so easy to come by here, so that's generally what I'll be ordering. Whenever what I'm ordering at the time, they also have all these silks and stuff like that. I might just need to bite the bullet and just order them at some point. That is all I really have to show you. I feel like my floss tubes aren't really that exciting, but I like making them. I've got 2 shout outs. Like I said, I've kind of fallen out of love with floss tubes, so I'll get onto that in a minute, but I've got 2 shout outs. So we've got on FLOSSTUBE, Emma X Stitching. So her video that I watched last, she had been FFOing, fully finished objecting her Christmas patterns. They look so cool. They look so nice. She also got a order from Our Florist Embroidery, like some beautiful of their hand-dyed silks. I talked about this in my random ones on my cross-stitch wish list. I'll put it up there. I'm not really sure about ordering from Russian businesses at the moment. She had ordered some stuff and it looked absolutely gorgeous. Go check her out if you haven't already. And she also introduced me to Dino December, and I am totally here for it, so I will be participating in Dino December. I'd also put down here Nerdy Stitchy Witchy, so that's Amber, who is based in the Netherlands. I've literally just been trying to refresh my memory because I think I watched her video like weeks ago and I put down that she had a cat, so obviously I was sold already. Her most recent video, she's just finished a moth pattern that she's like created herself and it looks so good. It looks so good, so go check out Amber as well if you're interested in some new floss tubers. And then we get to my channel. I'm obviously still loving stitching, but I've kind of fallen out of love with floss tube, and I kind of do know why, and I wish it wasn't the case, but I'm just gonna have to suck it up and deal with it. Part of the reason I've fallen out of love with FLOSSTUBE is just because my headspace is like sitting at 0 just now. Work's just been crazy, and it always is crazy, and I'm trying to take steps to like stop that from happening. Maybe in like a couple of weeks or something like that I might feel a little bit better. Also, I have been obviously just focusing on my stitching and not actually really watching FLOSSTUBE. I've been watching gaming stuff, I've been watching trash TV, I've been watching TV shows to try and catch up on. We'll get to that in a minute. I've just been really enjoying watching my ultimate comfy faves, so I'm sorry if I've missed all your videos because I feel like my subscription feed's just like boom 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 boom, and I feel like a little bit overwhelmed sometimes because it is just so much choice and there's so many people putting out great videos, and it's just like I'll go back to what I know. It's the easy option. So obviously because my headspace is at 0, then going back to what I know is really comforting. As well, I was gonna say balls deep. I am, but I don't know if that's PC, in my new Elden Ring playthrough in preparation for the DLC. I'm really enjoying playing that. Obviously that takes away from my stitching and video watching time and stuff like that. On top of all that, I have been trying to edit videos for the other channel that I run with my husband Troy, Troma, and I know why I'm struggling so bad, but I have such a vision for this video that I'm working on. My focus is like really on that just now. I'm really enjoying working on it, but it's so hard. I'll tell you what it is because you're probably not going to see it for quite a while yet anyway. Basically what we normally do is upload daily videos, I would say, from like each day of our travels, and then we'll also have like on top of that, if there's like videos that don't quite fit into like the daily format, we'll just have like longer videos. For example, when we went to Orlando, we had seen quite a few shows at like Animal Kingdom, Festival of the Lion King, that didn't really fit to put a 20-minute of the day video and include in that the whole 20-minute show. So we'd like upload the 20-minute show separately and then just a couple of select clips and the actual day video. We went to Paris in 2017. This is how old these videos are, 2017, that I still haven't edited, and they've just been sitting. There's a whole story behind it, but basically I'm editing just now the big bus tour that we went on in Paris. If you've ever been on a big bus tour, you'll know that you get the audio device that you can listen to, and it kind of tells you all about the stops that you're going past and all that, right? We had a Sony Handycam at the time. It was a great freaking camera. If anybody's looking for one, you can probably pick them up really cheap secondhand. We had the Sony Handycam and we had put the headphones next to the mic on the camera so that we had like a bit of the audio tool playing along the way. Oh my god, it is so hard to listen to. I'm struggling to like transcribe even a little bit of what it's saying, and my memory isn't that great for that kind of level of detail. So what I want to do is to basically make like a better big bus tour and do like a voiceover myself, obviously talking about all the stops we're on with the visual of what we had from the video camera, because it was like right at the front of the bus. We had a great view. Yeah, it's just really hard trying to listen to the audio because I'm like, I can't quite make it out, and sometimes they say it with a really French accent and I'm like, I don't even know what you just said, man. That's why it's taken me so long, and all of our kind of like day videos are pretty much done. Like this was like more towards the end of the trip, so I just need to get over the hurdle of transcribing those days that we're on the big bus tour. So we were there for 2 days. It's so much work, but it's really actually interesting researching a little bit into what I think I can hear and then researching a little bit more into it, because it does not go into like any depth whatsoever, and some of it's really interesting about the history of Paris. That's where I want to like then put my own creative stamp on it, and on top of the voiceover, which I'm not going to repeat word for word because A, I can't, I don't know what they're saying, and B, obviously that's copyrighted probably, so not going to go that way. Then I would just add in little tidbits of like history and maybe pictures. And that's the reason it's taken me so long, and that's taken like my editing brain. Yeah, that's why FLOSSTUBES kind of like went on a little bit of a back burner for me, which is a shame, but like at the end of the day I never promised a schedule because I knew this would happen. I knew it, and that's okay. All that to say, I'm probably going to be dropping down the videos that I'm going to be putting out. For definite a FLOSSTUBE every month, and then anything you get on top of that is just like bonus stuff. Probably try to stick to like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday upload day. Like I say, the FLOSSTUBES for definite. I like to see the progress that I've made in any given month. This was coming up on the channel. I've still got quite a few wishlist videos to film and edit as well. I've got a week off in like 2 weeks time, so I'm hoping to get those done and dusted out of the way. Those will be some kind of extra content, and then like that's me for maybe a month or two. Do you guys feel like that? Like there's so much that you're trying to keep on top of but it's just impossible, so you're like meh, because that's how I feel, and it's a shame because I really do love watching and supporting FLOSSTUBERS. It's just, it's not been my priority recently, and that's okay. I'm going to talk about a couple of like little media thingies and then I'm finished. So if you're only here for like the stitchy stuff, then au revoir, I'll catch you later. If not, we finally finished The Good Doctor. I think the last episode came out like middle of May. Oh my god, that seems like so long ago, but again, like not really that long ago. It just needed to wrap up, and I think it did in a nice little pretty package, and that was it. I really enjoyed it. If you like the kind of medical dramas but not quite as heavy as Grey's Anatomy, I would really recommend The Good Doctor. What else did we watch? We watched the Gathering on Channel 4, which was 4 episodes, and it was kind of like one of those little mini series like whodunit kind of things, and it was really good. Basically a teenager turns up dead on a beach after a beach party, and it's just the story of like everything that happened leading up to it. That was really good, would really recommend. It's, like I said, only 4 or 5 episodes, something like that. It's really not that hard to get through, and I love little mini series like that because you can just get the story out and done and that's it. It's so nice. I love that format. We have started, I say re-watching The Walking Dead, but kind of not. So we've got a really weird history with The Walking Dead. We watched it pretty religiously when it came out on its like weekly episodic releases up until about season 7, and then we just completely fell off because I think season 4, season 5 was quite a slog to get through, and then by the time you got to season 7 it was just like, I'm so over this. So we're trying again to go all the way to the end because we did watch the first season of the Daryl Dixon spin-off, and we would like to watch the other spin-offs, like the one with Rick and Michonne is like coming out. Is it coming out? I can't remember. It's there anyway. It exists. So we would like to see the whole main story through to the end so that we can understand some of the spin-offs a little bit better. We don't rewatch from the beginning because I think we've seen season 1 to 3. I'm not kidding. It must be about 6 or 7 times. We started halfway through season 4, which was quite a nice midpoint because we still remember enough about what's happened to keep up with it. That was probably like the first wobble that we had. It was quite, at the time it was really quite slow and boring, like watching it on a week on week. Now that it's all out and it's all released, you can just fire all through it and it feels okay. Pacing is really strange when you go back to stuff like that. That is our current watch. I don't think we're watching anything else. No, I started on absolute trash, the Kardashians. We cancelled a lot of our streaming services a long time ago and we just kind of rotate through them, so I'm watching the Kardashians. I've been really wanting to watch Lost again because I saw someone explain it and I was like, that totally went right over my head, the storyline of it. I think I need to rewatch Lost. I really want to watch the X-Files. I started watching that when Troy went back to New Zealand in 2021 and I just totally fell away with it. I didn't continue watching it and I actually really enjoyed it. And then last thing for media is gaming. Elden Ring DLC has been pre-ordered, so Shadow of the Erdtree is coming out at the end of June. And no, I am not taking time off work just to play the DLC, but I may have put in for the Friday that it comes out as well, just so that I get a little extra day to play the game and just enjoy myself and start my weekend early. I finish on Thursday the 20th. DLC comes out on Friday the 21st, which is exciting. I'm nowhere near where I need to be for the DLC, so I need to like crack on with I haven't even beat the first boss in Stormvale Castle, but I've been playing for 15 hours and I'm already like level 40, making progress a lot quicker than my first playthrough, which is nice. I also finished Demon Souls. What a game. Coming from Elden Ring, it was a little bit more challenging, the bosses, but not all of the bosses, just some of the bosses. But I really preferred the format of that to Dark Souls and Bloodborne. I'm gonna play through again Elden Ring, and then I think I might start dabbling in Demon Souls and Bloodborne. Dark Souls and Bloodborne again, because that would be me completing the Soulsborne cycle. We'll see, although I've been getting notions that I want to replay The Last of Us and I don't know why, and I really want to play Dead Space as well. I've never played Dead Space. I'm kind of like a little bit of a wimp when it comes to horror games because I don't like the I don't like that, but at the same time I love the stories in them and trying to figure out what happened and like all that kind of stuff I absolutely love, but I just don't like the jump scares. That's me for today. So June already. I can't believe it's June. It feels like we should still be in January 2022 or something. This past few years has just been such a whirlwind, and I'm looking around this room and I'm like, oh my god, I've made such a mess and I've only been filming for like 45 minutes. Let me know what you're working on down in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!
Love you, bye!
Grab your beverage of choice. Mine's is a iced coffee. It's white chocolate flavoured. It's by a brand called Makate Gold. I love iced coffee. Some coffee brings me out in a rash around my eyes. That one's good. Starbucks is good. So we're good. I actually need to do a thumbnail. Like, right, okay, let's turn the light down. That way, not that way. Thank you. Quickly, before the camera dies, I don't know, can I get Gaia and the dragon in the same picture? I don't think I can. I can. Just. That'll do. It's fun, fun, fun.